A focus switcher is a really handy widget that you can add to your home screen to quickly switch between different focus modes. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to add a focus switcher to your home screen, and I'm also just going to be giving you some tips on how you can customize your home screen with the focus switcher to make the transition between the different focus modes look really seamless. Now, the customization part is definitely not necessary. It's just something that I like to do. But if you just want to know how to add a focus switcher, that will be answered in this video. Now, before we get into the rest of the video, I do want to thank Skillshare for sponsoring this portion of today's video. I've recently been learning how to better my time management skills using Skillshare. And if you don't know what Skillshare is, it is one of the largest online learning communities for creatives with thousands of classes led by industry experts. There's classes on video editing, design, illustration, productivity. There's definitely something for everyone on Skillshare. I've been a Skillshare user for years, and I learned how to use apps like Adobe Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator just through Skillshare classes, and it's just helped me tremendously in learning new skills that I use every single day in my job. One thing I'm trying to be really mindful of as we're entering into the second quarter of the year is just to continually grow and nurture my creativity. Obviously, at the beginning of the year, we've set all these goals and aspirations of things we want to learn and develop in the new year, but usually at this point in the year, some of that motivation starts to taper off. So I'm really just trying to keep that spark alive by learning through Skillshare classes. For instance, I want to take a class called Storytelling Through Film, how to create engaging videos for YouTube, just so that I can continue to grow those skills that I want to use in my job every single day. So if you're looking to develop some new skills or to just grow in your creative side, I highly recommend Skillshare. And thanks to Skillshare, the first 500 people to use the link in my description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. So thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring this portion of today's video. Now let's get into how to create a focus switcher. So this is my current home screen setup. I have a whole video going into how I set up my home screen and customize it to look like this. So if you want to check that out, I will have that linked in the description box below and the eye up top. And here on the second screen of my home page, you will see that I have a widget here, which is just like a decorative widget, but that is in a stack with my focus switcher, so I can quickly access it. Now, as you can see, I have 3 focuses here and they're in this widget. So that's what I'm going to be covering first, is how you get this widget, how to set up these shortcuts so that they turn on and off focus modes. So for that, we're going to go into the shortcuts app here. So this is default on your iPhone. If it's not there, maybe you uninstalled it. You can just find it on the App Store again, but this is what it looks like. So we're going to go in there. And this is going to be where all your shortcuts live. But for this focus switcher, we're going to create a folder with a series of shortcuts. So you're going to go here to shortcuts, and then you're going to click on the new folder icon here at the top. And we're going to title this whatever you want. So I'm just going to say focus, but you can call it whatever you want. You can even give it a little icon, but that really doesn't matter what you do with it as long as you just create a folder. So I'm going to click on add here, and here you can see all the folders that I have. As you can see, I already have a few for focus switcher. That's just because I've also done this in previous videos just to show you, but you're just going to go into the folder that you just created where you want to save your focus switcher's shortcuts. So we're going to be creating 2 different types of shortcuts. The one is going to be to turn on a certain focus mode, and you can do this for however many focus modes you have. Like I said, I only have basically 2 focus modes and then one that's just all focus modes turned off. But if you have more focus modes, you're just going to create more versions of the shortcut for each focus. So I'm going to click here on the plus, and then we're going to go ahead and search focus. And then you'll see here is an option for set focus. Click on that. And then you're going to select which focus you want to turn on with this shortcut. So this is going to be turn, and then you'll select the focus that you want. So I'm just going to choose productivity. So turn productivity, and we want to turn it on. So you're going to create this shortcut for each focus mode that you have. For the sake of the widget, you see here I have different titles for those focus modes. So one says read and work, and they each have a little icon. To set that, you're going to go here to this drop down arrow. You're going to select rename, and you're just going to give it a name. So I'm just going to call this focus time, or whatever you want to call that on your focus switcher. So this is the name that's going to appear on the widget. And then I'm going to click on done. And then also we're going to go back to the drop down arrow and then select choose icon, and you're going to set a color as well as an icon. So I'm just going to go with green. and we're gonna choose this option here. And then you're just gonna choose an icon that basically matches your focus mode that you're creating. So for the icon for this focus mode, I'm just gonna set a little clock, and then at the top here, you will see a preview of what that's gonna look like. And I'm gonna click on done. So now we have that saved and created. You're gonna click on done again. And now you're gonna do this for every focus mode that you have. So I have 2, so I'm just gonna create another one and just quickly show you again. So you click on the plus button, search focus, select set focus, and select the focus that you want to turn on. So again, this is going to be my other focus that I want. I'm going to select turn on until turned off. So make sure yours looks like this. Again, we're going to customize this. So I'm going to rename this to bookish time, and I'm also just going to change the icon, and I'm going to click on done. So again, do this for every focus that you want to be able to turn on directly from your focus switcher. Once you've created a shortcut to turn on each focus mode, we're going to create one shortcut to turn off any focus modes that are turned on. So that will just go back to the default state of your phone. So we're going to click on this plus button here, and we're again going to search focus, but you're going to select get current focus. So it's going to determine whether a focus is turned on or not, and then you're going to go ahead and again add in the set focus, and then where you select your focus mode, you're going to select current focus here at the bottom. So then it's going to select turn current focus off. So any focus that is turned on your device will be turned off, and we're going to again just rename this and set icon. So now we've created a folder with all our focus modes and our default state, and now we're gonna go to our home screen and add a widget. So just go to editing mode by holding down on your screen, click on edit and select add a widget. Scroll down until you see shortcuts, which is this one here. Then you're gonna choose which size widget you want. So if you only have a default widget and one focus mode, you can use this one. If you have 4, or if you have even more, you can use a bigger widget. So I'm just gonna go with this one here and select add widget. And then you're gonna hold down on that widget, you're gonna select edit widget, and you're gonna select the folder that we just created. So mine is gonna be focus modes. And then all the widgets that are in that folder will now appear on this widget. So that's the basics of creating a focus switcher. But if you want yours to look like mine, which is, this is my default state. If I switch to reading focus, then it will change the wallpaper and change the home screen. And if you want to set it to a work focus, it will also change the wallpaper and the home screen. Now to achieve that, you're going to want to set a custom wallpaper and home screen layout when you're creating your focuses. Now, maybe you've already done this and you already have them set up, but I'll have a video linked where I go into depth about setting up focus modes, how to set up a focus mode, how to create a custom home screen for your focus modes, all of that, because that's going to make this video very long. But in that video, I go over how to set that up. But my tip for you when you are doing that is to set the focus switcher for each home screen in the same position. So you will see when I switch to reading that the focus switcher is still in the middle, and I just have 2 widgets here at the top and then 4 little apps here at the bottom. This is actually in a stack with another widget, so I can hide it again if I want to. But then if I go to my work focus, you will see the widget is still in the same spot. I still have the same general layout, but the wallpaper changed and the apps that correspond to that focus mode changed. Another tip is to have a similar wallpaper throughout. Now I have this wallpaper pack here, but this home screen wallpaper I kind of made myself on my iPad. It's basically from this wallpaper pack. I just edited it on my iPad to remove the text and just add flowers for my home screen layouts. Sadly, I cannot share that because it's not my artwork, but the goal is to get a wallpaper that kind of looks cohesive throughout. Here's another example of what that would look like with a different set of wallpapers that are similar. I will have this pack linked in the description box below as well if you're interested. This I bought from Cozy Lee Studios, but that is another tip that I have for you, is to make your wallpapers match and also make your widget layout match. I've done the same thing on my iPad as well. You will see my widget layout is pretty much the same across all my focus modes, and the wallpapers are similar. So it basically just looks like you're changing the wallpaper and the apps that show up in that home screen. But you'll see in my settings here, in each focus mode, I have set a custom wallpaper and a custom home screen layout. But again, the other video goes into depth on how to do this because it is a few steps that you'll need to follow to get that to work. But once you've done that and set that up, it will look really nice when switching between the different focus modes, and it will look like it kind of matches one another, which is really nice. But that is how you can basically create your own focus switcher like this, and also just how you can have it match throughout your phone when switching between the different focus modes. I also think it is really nice to just have your focus switcher in a stack so that if you aren't using your focus modes, you can still have a nice looking widget covering it up when you're not using it. So that is creating a focus switcher on your iPhone. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and could learn something new. Let me know in the comments down below if you actually use focus modes and what you use it for. And do you use the different home screen setups, or is it just limiting distractions with notifications and things like that? But thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.